All right, well, welcome back. My name is Jorge de la Torre. I'm the culinary director at Kitchen Network in Denver and a proud board member of We Don't Waste. So today we're going to do it's comfort food. It's getting a little colder. We're going to do a chicken pot pie. Now, this might not be the typical chicken pot pie, but that's what I always want to teach people is that, hey, it doesn't have to be exactly like the recipe that you pick up. It doesn't have to have the exact ingredients. Like, we're not going to have all the ingredients that we have. We have the ingredients that we got, that what came to us today, and they're all going to be fantastic. So I'm hoping that vegetable is vegetable. Let's try to make a riff on it. Let's not waste, right? So we're going to start with a whole chicken. Now, I start with a whole chicken because it has so many uses, and it's going to be much cheaper in the end. All right, buenos días. Me llamo Jorge de la Torre. Estoy aquí con We Don't Waste y vamos a hacer algo que se llama un pastel de pollo, un chicken pot pie pastel, un pie de torta de pollo. Y lo que vamos a hacer es, lo importante va a tener muchos vegetales, va a tener pollo, va a ser muy simple de hacer y no te preocupas en cuál vegetales tienes o no tienes, o cuál te gusta o no te gusta. No importa, lo que hay, úsalo y vas a ver que saborea muy bien. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the chicken. Now, you don't need to be perfect at it, and you can cut a little. So this is the thigh. We're going to cut away some of the fat here. We don't need that. But we're going to, right here, you can kind of find the seams of a chicken. We're going to kind of take it apart here at the leg and thigh. Today we're going to worry about as you can see, you just kind of take the tip of the knife and kind of just go away. And then just kind of follow the natural lines. What's good about this is now we're not going to use everything. Today we're going to use the breasts. We're going to use the legs maybe for something later. You can just put them in the oven. It's my favorite, right? We can do that. You can use this. We can take them apart. See, they kind of come off hinge right at the thigh bone. Aquí estamos sacando el muslo y la pierna. Y puedes usar esto después para cocinar, para hornear, para la parrilla, como usted quiere. Ok, estoy sacando de aquí y no tiene que estar perfecto, pero no hay necesidad de gastar tampoco. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to use the backbone. It's got plenty of meat, got some nice flavor. I'm going to make a quick stock with this. So I'm going to use this stock to help flavor my chicken pot pie. Voy a hacer un caldo aquí con esto para usar en el pastel de pollo. In there I already have some carrots, some celery, some onion, some spices, anything you want, black pepper. So we have that going for a little while. We're going to take the breasts off. We're going to use one breast here for this chicken pot pie because this is a pretty nice sized chicken. You can use however much you want, but we're going to make one pie today. So we have the tender here. Okay, ahora vamos a usar la pechuga hoy para el pie de pollo, pero tú puedes usar las piernas y el muslo si usted quiere, pero aquí como este está grande, vamos a usar para el pie. Estoy sacando el cuero. I'm taking out the skin for this. It's perfectly usable. And we're going to cut it up into bite-sized pieces. Lo vamos a cortar ahora en pedazos para que no tienes que tener tenedor o cuchillo para comer. Entonces, pedacitos que está perfecto para la boca. Y eso, todo lo mismo para que todo se cocina al mismo tiempo. So we're going in cubes so it cooks a little quicker. It's bite-sized. You don't want to have a knife and fork to have chicken pot pie. And also, if you notice, I'm trying to hit everything the same size. So that way, we know that when one piece is done, they're all done. So in here we have some carrots, celery, some garlic, some green onions, because I had green onions, but you can use any type of onion you want. I have some herbs. I used Italian seasoning because that's what I had. A little pepper, and then the bones. I used the backbone, but I could add all the bones and I could make more stock. And you can use water to use your, but why are you going to waste the bones? There's so much flavor here. It's going to be much richer. It's going to be better off. So don't waste. Use these bones. Aquí está mi caldo que estoy haciendo con los huesos del pollo. Tiene zanahoria, cebolla, cebollín, un poco de apio, hierbas que encontré. Puedes usar lo que tú quieras. Y es posible hacer este pastel con agua nomás o quizás con un poco no consomé. Pero si lo tienes, no tiras los huesos. Va a ser un caldo fantástico que puedes usar para una sopa de fideos, arroz con pollo, lo que usted quiera. Lo tienes, ya lo compraste, no lo gastes. All right, so while the little stock is going, we're going to take care of the ingredients for the chicken pot pie. So typically there'll be some type of, it's a nice thick stew. We're going to add some celery, some carrot, mushrooms, potatoes, some spinach, and some green peas. Why? Because that's what we had today. You can add whatever you like. You want green peppers, you like chili, you like it spicy. You don't like mushrooms, don't add them. It doesn't matter. Ahora vamos a cortar los vegetales para el pie de pollo, el pastel de pollo. Estamos usando papa, zanahoria, apio, hongos o champiñones, espinaca y arvejas. ¿Por qué? Porque eso es lo que tenía y vino. Puede ser lo que a usted le guste. Si usted quiere agregar pimentón, ajo, jalapeños, lo que usted desea, berenjena, no importa. Lo que a ti te gusta, por favor, úsalo. All right, so we're going to cut this up into, again, nice bite-sized pieces. Of course, I've washed everything, right? So these are pieces that are going to cook uniformly and nicely. We're going to cut these nicely. We've washed them again, like I said. We got the celery, all kind of, what I like to do with things that kind of roll around, I kind of like to find a spot so it doesn't roll, right? See, that's knife safety. I can still use this. And then I can cut nice and safely. We'll cut some pieces. Okay, a mí me gusta cortar un poco, mira como así, un poco así, para que no mueve mucho y así puedo cortar en pedazos, seguramente para no cortar mis dedos con el cuchillo. Cortar en pedacitos que tú quieres. Estoy haciendo lo mismo con la papa. Después me gusta también otra vez para que no mueva, cortando en pedazos así. Cutting in nice little pieces. So I like to cut those, and I like these to cut a little bigger because they are so much water they're going to shrink down. So I like to cut them a little thicker. These are not going to shrink down too much, especially the carrots, but the mushrooms will, and I like big chunks of mushrooms. That's my taste. They're going to cook just fine, but I do like to see big pieces. Estoy cortando los hongos un poco más grande porque tienen tanta agua que se achican bien rápido, y a mí me gusta ver hongos cuando estoy comiendo o cuando estoy haciendo. Okay? So right now we're going to start sauteing. I have 2 pats of butter. We're going to start sauteing the veggies. We're going to build this. We're going to make this pie right here in the pan. So make sure you have a pan that can go into the oven. I have the oven already at 425 degrees. so it's getting ready. So you want to preheat, like it says in every recipe, so that it's ready to go when you're ready to go. So I have it 425. You'll take a look at the pie dough directions, and they'll tell you the temperature. This one says 425. So right now I'm using butter. Now, can you use olive oil or vegetable oil? Absolutely. All we're needing is a fat and a flour to make a roux eventually, and to kind of brown the veggies. Okay, so ahora estoy derritiendo la mantequilla. Tengo como unas 2 cucharadas aquí. Puedes usar cualquier grasa que tienes. Si necesitas aceite de oliva, aceite vegetal, no importa si tú eres vegano, no quieres usar mantequilla, perfecto. Cualquier cosa. Lo importante es que tenemos lo mismo partes de grasa y harina para hacer un roux, que se llama, y para los vegetales. Pero aquí vamos a cocinar los vegetales en este sartén para que los vegetales se cocinan un poco, los azúcares se cocinan, se pone bien dulce, las zanahorias, todo se pone un poco mejor. So the reason I'm doing this is we're going to brown the vegetables. I'm going to move over, I'm going to grab all these that we have, and we're going to start sauteing them. We're going to just give them a nice color. We're going to let the carrots caramelize. We're going to season as we go. Vamos a poner un poco de pimienta, un poco de sal. Puse un poco más mantequilla porque se necesitaba. Y estas son las especias italianas. It's called Italian seasoning. It's just what we have, but it can be whatever you like. We're going to thicken it. Entonces ya tenemos todo aquí. Está cocinando. Está un poco de color. Los azúcares de la zanahoria están caramelizando. Entonces vamos a usar, we have the fat, and now we have flour. So fat plus flour equals a roux, and it's a nice thickener. So I'm using about the same. If I used about 2 tablespoons of butter, I'm using about 2 tablespoons of fat. Estoy haciendo un roux que es mismo partes de mantequilla y mismo partes de harina. Esto, y vamos a poner un poco de este caldo. So now we're going to add a little of this broth. It took a quick one. I made a quick broth because I cut the vegetables small. I used a little piece of the meat, so we're going to be able to use. Estoy haciendo un poco de caldo que hicimos. Rápido aquí. So you can see now as it starts to cook, I want to take everything off the bottom. All right, at this point, I like to add the chicken. Now you can saute the chicken there too, but so I kind of add it at the end and kind of poach it in this nice broth. We're going to turn it down a little because you can see that it is thickening. Do you see the bubbles are starting to be a nice thickener? Entonces agregué el pollo ahora, y a mí me gusta eso con la pechuga, porque la pechuga no tiene mucha grasa, entonces se seca muy rápido cuando estás cocinando. Entonces estoy tratando de cocinarlo ya al punto no más, no mucho más, porque después los vamos a poner en el horno. Pero a mí me gusta estar seguro que todo está cocinado. Mira cómo se está poniendo un poco más grueso, y si se pone demasiado grueso, agrega un poco más caldo o agua, pero así estamos bien. So right now we're waiting for it to cook through. It'll cook more in the oven, but I like to feel safe that all the chicken's cooked through. Also at this point, because I want, and it doesn't need much, I like to add a little spinach and frozen peas. That's going to slow down the cooking a little, but it is so nice. I like to do it at the end so it doesn't look like they're totally gray, so it'll wilt just fine. A mí ahora ya que el pollo ya está cocinado, casi terminado, casi a su punto, los pollos, las papas ya están cocinados también, porque todo está cortado bien. Lo dejo así un poco. Recuerda que vas a poner al horno por unos 30 minutos, entonces todo se va a cocinar perfecto. So we're doing that. We're gonna adjust seasoning. We just added stuff, so it means it needs to be seasoned more. And remember that things will cook, so that everything's cut so nice and small that the carrots are already almost done. The potatoes are almost done. The celery is nice. This will wilt wonderfully. The peas, you don't want them to be super like gray, so that's why I like to end them at the end. And that looks so pretty and colorful. Hoy estamos usando una masa de pie comprado. Hay muchos en las tiendas que solo tienes que, mira, aquí vienen ya listo o ya vienen en su sobre para hacer un pie, pero es muy fácil hacer uno y te vamos a mandar la receta porque no es mucho más que un tipo de grasa, harina, agua, sal y lo puedes hacer fácilmente. I'm using a store-bought pie dough because sometimes that's what we get, but it is super simple to make a pie dough. It takes a little time, but it's really easy, and it's usually things that you have already in your kitchen, hopefully. Flour, some type of fat, salt, a little water. So I like to do it in one pot. So if you have a pan that you can put into the oven, so make sure that it doesn't have a plastic handle, maybe a wood handle, make sure that it's oven ready, then this is the thing for you. If not, then you would place it into maybe a Pyrex or anything that you could place into the oven. So lo que estoy haciendo es, le hice en un sartén. Soy flojo, no me gusta limpiar mucho, entonces prefiero usar un sartén para la facilidad y ya hacerlo. Ten seguro que tu sartén puede entrar al horno, que no tiene plástico aquí. Este es perfecto. Pero si no tienes uno, entonces pones esto en un Pyrex, algo, y no importa si es cuadrado, si es circular, no importa. Lo que tú tienes, usas, porque tú puedes formar este pastel para lo que tiene. So right now I'm taking this dough and I'm just going to fold it over here. It's about the same size. It's kind of flexible. I can stretch it. I'm going to kind of tuck it in. Lo puse aquí alrededor. No quiero que se calle porque eso se quema fácilmente, pero aquí muy bien. Oh, perdón, aquí estaba. Y así se pone y realmente ya está cocinado todo adentro, casi al 90%, pero con los minutos se va a cocinar y vamos a broncear este masa. Voy a poner unos hoyos para que el vapor pueda salir. I'm putting in some cuts. I've tucked it in nicely. Remember, the filling's pretty much done, so you don't have to worry. Whatever it takes for this to brown, I guarantee everything inside will be ready to go. I put in some slits so the steam could escape so it doesn't bust. You always need to do that in any type of pie. So, as you can see, after about 20 minutes, the pie is nice and brown. Everything's cooked inside. You let it rest for a little bit. This is what happens. A lot of people are excited, and it's hot. It's going to droop all over, right? So you just want to give it time to kind of resettle, kind of thicken. Okay, aquí saqué el pie del horno. Todo está bronceado a mi gusto, cocinado bien. Lo dejamos por unos minutos para que se pueda espesar un poco, porque si tú cortas ahorita, todo lo de adentro va a estar echado por todo el plato. Entonces, ten un poco, vamos a cortar para que puedas ver, pero es bien fácil. Así puedes poner esto con una ensalada y tienes una cena, un almuerzo perfecto. So you can have this with a salad, so you have a fantastic dinner or lunch, and it's made in one dish. This could feed 6, feed 4 with hungry kids, but this is plenty. You have chicken, vegetables, and dough. It's a dinner in itself. So thank you very much. Puedes cocinar para una familia de 4 o 6, 4 si son un poco más grandes, pero esto, como dije, con una ensalada es todo lo que necesitas. Gracias.